What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I am going to be talking about that lovely ray of sunshine, that beacon of hope for us women, because she is the first one. She is the only one that is ever to exist for little girls and women to look up to feel empowered. That is, what these, women on the Twitters are saying. These crazy, crazy feminist women. They, feel the need to defend this deleted scene of Captain Marvel, or extended scene of Captain Marvel. Now, I did a video earlier on in the week about this deleted scene. I did a reaction, or deleted or extended, I'm not exactly sure. A lot of people say deleted, a lot of people say extended. Because it wasn't in the movie, I'm going to go with the whole deleted scene. So even though it's a longer extended scene, it was not in the movie, therefore it's a deleted scene. So, in this deleted scene, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, that lovely ray of sunshine, she is standing there in her little green jumpsuit, because she's the Kree, looking at a map. A dude comes up on his motorcycle and is like, what's with the scuba suit? And then he comes up and asks her if she's lost, if she needs help, does she need a ride, could she smile? She proceeds to say, oh, a smile? What about a handshake? Initiates the contact between her and this guy. He shakes her hand, smiles at her. She proceeds to electrocute him and crush her hand, or his hand, with hers. He's down on his knees. She steals his motorcycle, his mode of transportation, and then says that she wants his jacket as well, and then steals clothes from a mannequin, and then takes off into traffic. Doesn't know how to drive, apparently. And then people use the argument, well, she's from outer space. It's like, no, she was from Earth. She can fly a freaking spaceship. She can drive a freaking motorcycle. She already got the hang of it enough to where she didn't fall over right when she got on it. So she knows decently how to drive a motorcycle. But, at least not well on the streets. But she has that ability. But these women are defending it. They're not looking at this like, in any other case, this would be the introduction of a villain to the movie. This is the way you introduce a villain. They literally ripped it off right from freaking Terminator. That the scene where Arnold goes, steals the motorcycle from the dude and all of his clothes. Come on! That's from a Terminator movie. The villain, the Terminator, the person that is there to kill people. Of course, in the second one, he's reprogrammed to be good. But this is the introduction... of a villain. And I said that in my video, that no hero is going to come in and just because somebody doesn't like them, they are not going to attack the only person that is offering to help them. No, usually they talk to the person like, what year is it? What's going on? They try to either, if they need to keep their identity secret, they do that, but usually the person offering them help becomes their sidekick throughout the movie that is helping them, or they get killed early on by the bad guy. This little scene with Brie Larson was deleted from the film, I think, as a cover-up to protect her, to protect the character of Captain Marvel, because it has got the internet on such an uproar, and anyone with common sense can clearly see the way that she is portrayed in that scene is, this is the introduction to a villain, not a hero. Now, these crazy, crazy feminists on Twitter are defending it, saying these ridiculous things. So we are going to go look at that and go investigate these people, because I think this is something that needs to be brought to people's attention, because they are making the claims that this is for us women, that us women never had anyone to look up to, that we as little girls being told by boys that we're not going to be smart enough, we're never going to be strong enough. No boy ever told me that growing up, not a single one. So, for them to say that, and say that all of us women feel the same way, they're fucking wrong. So, let's go take a look at this. Alright, everyone, I have my Twitter pulled up right here. So, this is the initial tweet that I had first seen this morning. This girl, Tilda, is apparently a cosplayer. I think she's from Europe. And so this tweet got a lot of traction. It got 81,000 likes and then over 20,000 retweets. So this is kind of trending right now. So let's take a look at what this insightful human had to say. Fuck fucking incorrect, my dude. This is the power fantasy we all have when men threaten us in the street. She's the hero we need, and I wish they'd left this scene in the movie. And this is her retweeting somebody that retweeted the deleted scene of Captain Marvel, saying Marvel has created the worst unlikable hero ever. And so this is this girl's response to it. Fucking incorrect, my dude. This is the power fantasy we all have when men threaten us in the streets. No, it's not. That is not my fantasy. You cannot group me in that. You cannot group other women in with that. Any woman I know, like, unless you're in some kind of like fighting movie where it's like, yeah, like a Rocky type movie where it's like, yeah, you know what, I want to, beat Apollo kind of thing. Unless it's that, I don't know any woman that fantasizes beating up a guy that's offering you help. No, the best, I mean, at least for me, when I can speak of what my own preferences would be. I love it when, and this rarely ever happens, is instantly when I come up with a witty, like, snarky comeback that just kind of stuns them, and like they don't even have words to come up with a comeback to my comeback. That to me is satisfying when I can outsmart someone. When I can use my mind to win and I don't even have to lift a finger, that to me is satisfying. That is, when somebody threatens me and I can just stun them with my words and using my mind and my intellect. That's fucking empowering. Not going and beating someone up that just asked you for a smile, that offered to help you. This guy, in any other situation, if you were watching like a Lara Croft movie, this dude would probably be, the love interest of the movie. That's kind of the introduction. He drives, let's imagine this with Lara Croft. Lara Croft, as Angelina Jolie Lara Croft, is, and I know I'm probably not saying it right. I know people get mad at me. They say it's Lara, but I'm used to saying Laura, so I apologize. Please forgive me. So she's standing there looking at her map. I would think that she's, blowing bubblegum kind of thing and like, looking all badass, like this badass chick, like just chilling there with bubblegum and like looking at a map. Dude comes up in a motorcycle. Lara Croft's into bad guy, like bad boys type of thing, because he's the bad boy type of character. He's the James Dean type of character. He comes in, like, what excuse me, like, what are you wearing? Oh, are you lost? Can I get a smile? Do you know, like, that would be a type of dynamic that would go well with Lara Croft. And I guarantee, and the only time that she would engage in fighting with him is if you find out that, hey, he's the villain and he's trying to steal whatever it is that she's trying to get to. And you can look at the dynamic. That was her dynamic with the guys in the Lara Croft movies. And she doesn't get a kick off of beating them up. It's like she just goes through the motions of this is what needs to get done to make the mission accomplished. This was just something that they put in there to push the stupid feminist agenda where it's like, hey, we're not pro-women feminists. We don't want to lift women up. Because if you want to lift women up, guess what? You don't do this kind of stuff. You do exactly what I said, which is using your mind to outsmart someone. That is one of the most satisfying things as a woman to see. That is why Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite movies, because when you see Clarice Starling outsmart every single man and do what no man could, which is not only get information out of a Hannibal Lecter, but also find Buffalo Bill and kill him and save the only victim of his to survive. That's fucking empowering. Seeing Captain Marvel attack a person that is only trying to help her? That's not empowering. That is insulting to us women. So you saying that and going off on this guy and saying that this is what all of us women want? No, you're plain wrong, and this is ridiculous. And you really, really, really need to get your priorities in life straight. And then, there you go. There's her little, there's a little information. And then there you go, Mecca. Mecca right there for you. You go, Mecca. All right. So then there's another one. So this is from Kayla. And I don't know what this whole thing is, but it's, I don't know why all of these weirdos that are like Brie bots put this whole, I saw in-game this many times, and then they use these weird symbols. How the heck do you do that? I don't even know how to do that. But that's a thing. I've noticed that with a lot, you can even go look at my other Brie bot video. They all have this weird little thing, like, oh, I saw in-game this many times, let me put that in my freaking name on Twitter. It's like, congratulations, you spent, like, I mean, It depends on what type of theater you go to. But you spent like over $100 seeing this movie. Congratulations. Do you want a prize? Or are you just gonna go, like, do you know what you could have done? I'm gonna do this reverse psychology on them. Do you know how many things, like, you could have done to help children? You want to say Captain Marvel's empowering for women? Well, guess what? Your greedy ass took a seat away from a child 4 freaking times. You could have gone and seen it once and, bought some kid that, can't afford to go see Endgame. You could have gotten them 3 different kids' tickets. You could have, but no, you were selfish. You took a seat away from a child. Just saying, using their own logic on them. Alright, well, do they even have logic, let's be honest. So, Kayla, at Min on Twitter, calling Captain Marvel a villain because she stood up to a guy harassing her. How was he harassing her? Oh, please go to therapy. People have sent this to me, all toxic nerds. Please go to therapy. Well, Kayla, I would suggest the same thing for you if you're going to attack an entire gender. And this is when I retweeted it. And that one also did get a lot of traction. I went on that girl's page and yeah, all of her tweets are like, oh, if I see something toxic, I'm going to block you. It's like, okay, so you just like your own echo chamber. That makes a lot of sense. So this was my comeback to this woman. Not only is it extremely sexist that you are blaming an entire gender for this, when anyone with a shred of common sense can clearly see she's a villain. She assaulted and robbed someone because she didn't like the way he spoke to her. That's a classic villain behavior. It is. You look at any villain, and this makes me think, I don't know if any of you guys saw this movie, it's kind of older, my sisters like to watch it for some reason, but immediately I thought of it, and it's the movie called The Warlock. So there's this warlock that travels through time, and this guy's from the past, and he's trying to kill this warlock, and when I watch it, it's like, this guy, like the warlock, he's literally not remorseful. The people that do help him in the beginning, they're kind of weird and hippie-ish, and he has no remorse. He kills everyone, even the people that he likes that wants to help him. The guy that's been helping him since the beginning that he first met when he came into this century, he likes a ring that he had because it's in the zodiac sign and he wants it, and the guy's like, no bro, that's like my ring, I'm already letting you chill at my place, and he kills him and he's being nice to him. And I was like, wow, the way that Captain Marvel is, she's so cold-hearted, she's so unremorseful for anything that she does. This guy literally came up, saw a woman in distress, offered to help her, did the whole, let's get that off my screen, did the whole, let me be the bad boy, let me be the James Dean, Han Solo type character, and come up and, do that kind of bad boy routine to, get him in the end, because some girls like that. Especially girls that are dressed like Brie Larson, she looks like she's ready to jump on a motorcycle in the green thing, like, doing stunts and whatnot. And then she attacks him. She initiates the contact. He wasn't harassing her. He was offering her help. Everyone, you want to say that he's the bad guy? Everyone else in the scene is walking around, obviously seeing this woman that looks freaking crazy, looks like she needs help. He's the only one that offers her to help. He comes into the situation. He's probably going to the liquor store that's right behind her to maybe go get some Cheetos or something, and he sees her, and he knows that she needs help, so he stops what he's doing to offer her assistance. That's not harassing. If he was coming up to her, touching her, being all up on her in her personal space, trying to get in her business and saying like nonstop, trying to say stuff to her, that's harassing. I think you need to understand the severity of the word, because people just throw this around lightly. That's what that whole Me Too thing was going on, and there was a lot of people that got affected by that they're like, oh, well, this person was harassing me, #MeToo. It's like, you can't just say that lightly. You have to have actual evidence. And one of the things that's happening nowadays is that people like to do the whole guilty before proven innocent instead of innocent until proven guilty. And so with this whole situation, with me watching it, this guy didn't do anything wrong. She initiated the contact. She was the one that harmed him first. Villain attacks somebody trying to help them. Doesn't matter what the person was trying to do. It is never right to harm another human being. It is never right. You can argue self-defense. If somebody's coming at you trying to kill you, yeah, it's okay to defend yourself, but always, violence is the last resort you should go to. And guess what? That's the first thing that she does. That is the first thing that she resorts to, because she is a villain, plain and simple. And these people on Twitter that are defending her relentlessly do not understand that. And it makes my blood boil knowing that these are the people that want to preach things to children. They want to teach to children that it is okay to assault and rob, and not just from a person. You want to go, assault a guy, rob from him, and then go rob from a store as well, and then take off with everyone else's stuff, and you don't feel any remorse for that? That's what you want to teach to children? What the fuck is wrong with you? Just when you think it can't get any, worse with society, you see stuff like this. Now, for some reason, my OBS decided, which is what I use when I do the screen capture with my little face in the corner, that decided to randomly update while I was filming, so I'm going to read this last tweet out loud to you, and I apologize for you guys not being able to see it. But, so this is from a person named Claudia, but they have, Captain America with a beard as their little picture. But it says, "Men can hate on Carol as much as they want to. This hero is not for them. It's for all these little girls who are told they're not as strong, as good, or as smart as boys. It's for them to grow seeing a powerful woman who always stands up after falling." This tweet has 41,000 likes and 14,000 retweets. I was one of those retweets, and this is what I had to say to that person. When you have to specify what gender a hero is for, they are not a hero. Plain and freaking simple. There have always, all caps, I went all caps on this person. There have always been powerful women, and to claim that she is the first one for little girls to look up to is one of the most degrading and belittling things I have ever heard. And I feel that exactly. Because you saying that Captain, she falls up, she falls down, she always gets back up. Guess what? So does every fucking person on the face of the planet. No one falls down and doesn't get up unless they're dead, or unless they have some kind of problem with their body. Like people that are paraplegics, they usually need help, or they can't stand up on their own because they are paralyzed from the waist down, or people that are quadriplegic that, are paralyzed from the neck down. They can't even use their arms to lift themselves up. Unless there's someone with actual physical disabilities to where they can't physically pick themselves up on their own, every other person, and I'm assuming that the people that do have physical disabilities would still try to pick themselves up, or would still try to get off the ground, or unless they're a baby and they can't walk. But usually babies like to chill on the ground sometimes. They're babies. They like to they like to, suck on their fingers and stuff. It's not going to bother them to be on the ground. But still, to say that, she's the first woman, guys, she falls down, she gets right back up, she's the first one, that's so uplifting to see for women. Every other woman in the world will do that. Any man will do that. Any child would do that. That's not a big feat. That doesn't make her, that's not, it doesn't make sense. Oh my gosh, it's like, how many times do I have to explain to people 2 + 2 = 4? It's not, 2 + 2 does not equal 5. It does not equal 3. 2 + 2 = 4. Saying this about Captain Marvel does not make her the savior from womankind. It does not mean that she is the one that all of us women have to look up to, because you saying that that's what we have to look up to? That's fucking insulting. You limited us to that one character. You're saying that we can't look up to women like Princess Leia before Disney got a hold of her. We can't look up to people like Ellen Ripley. We can't look up to Sarah Connor. We can't look up to... they're even, degrading the princesses, the Disney princesses, the one where Disney made all their money. They're saying, that's dumb, they have a love interest, Moana doesn't get one. I'm like, why doesn't Moana get one? Moana's beautiful too, why can't she have a freaking boyfriend? Ariel's the same age as her, Ariel got a prince, why can't Moana have a prince? Why do you gotta discriminate against Moana? She's a great character. But they're saying, well, she doesn't need a man. I'm like, none of these women need a man. They don't need it. Some of them want it, because a lot of people in the world want to find love, but they're degrading these female characters that we had to look up to. Come on. Pocahontas, one of the best, that's biased because it's one of my favorite characters, and very underrated, and I don't know why people don't use this analogy. Same with Mulan. Mulan freaking saved China. Why aren't you saying, oh, Captain Marvel's the first one? I had Mulan when I was a little girl. I got to watch a girl go into the army at the risk of dying to defend her father so her father wouldn't die, and she was the one that saved everyone. That's uplifting. Pocahontas had to change the mind of somebody that was so set in their ways, and she did. She showed freaking John Smith the colors of the wind. Someone that was convinced that he'd been everywhere in the world, and everyone that wasn't like him was a savage. Pocahontas showed him the freaking colors of the wind, changed his mind. Wow, what a strong, powerful woman. That is empowering to see. That using logic and your intelligence to achieve your goals, that is something to be motivated for. That is something for little girls to look up to. That is what I looked up to as a little girl. And yeah, I did watch more adult films. I used this earlier, The Silence of the Lambs, Clarice Starling. That's empowering. Watching Captain Marvel assault someone is not empowering. That is a villain. For you to want little girls to look up to that, that's insulting to us. You're limiting us to just that gender. Why can't little girls look up to Batman? I love Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero because guess what? He doesn't have superpowers. That was one of the most relatable things about him. He had such a dark history. He had traumatic things happen to him. And because of that, it shaped who he was. And he wanted to be a better person, but he knew he had this dark side to him. And he couldn't work with the justice system because it failed him. So he became Batman and saved everyone. He's not going to stop and be like, oh, well, you're a woman. I'm a man. I can't save you. I can only save men. And you saying that Captain Marvel, oh, well, men don't like it because it's not for you. That's not a superhero. That is a villain. That is one of the major key factors of a villain. They only want to help the people that are on their side. The Joker doesn't care about anyone but himself. He just wants chaos. Again, 2 plus 2 equals 4. It doesn't equal 5. It doesn't equal 3. Captain Marvel is a villain by your own definition. The way that people are defending her, it's like, how do you not see this? How do you not understand 2 plus 2 equals 4? She is a villain by your own definition. It's infuriating. But, I just know I'm going to have to continue to deal with this. But I just wanted to make everyone aware of the situation. And I just, like, I don't understand. What is this world coming to? How can people think like this and, like, passionately defend it? I don't understand. How can you look at something that is so painfully obvious and fight for... It's like, how can you look at somebody that's obviously a villain and be like, no, they're the hero. Oh, and if you don't like it, it's because it's not for you because you're a man. It's like, well, I'm a fucking woman and I don't put up with that shit. I'm not going to be force-fed saying that, oh, you have to look at this woman who's clearly a villain and you have to like her because she's empowering for you. She doesn't empower me. Looking at, there's plenty of female villains that are badass. Selena Kyle, Catwoman, awesome. Poison Ivy, awesome. Great female villain characters. A lot of people like Harley Quinn. She's personally not my favorite. But there you go. Female villains that are awesome. You could have made that with Captain Marvel. You could have done the whole, you want to subvert expectations? Do that. There you go. That's a great twist to it. Oh, here's Captain Marvel. She's going to be the new hero. Make her the villain. Everyone's like, whoa, what just happened kind of thing. And you got the best actress for it. Brie Larson enacting her own self. There you go. There's a villain for you. There you go. Next movie, $2 billion right there for you. Billions dollars idea. There you go. Do a twist. Make her the villain. Everyone will, it'll be very understanding. I feel like that would be a great movie. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. I'm out of breath. This was, a ridiculous situation, but I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. So, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay too. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little bell. That way you get notifications when I do other videos and live streams. And until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day. And may the force be with you because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.
What's up, everyone? I have a P.O. box, so if you want to send me some mail, go ahead and send it to Anna, that Star Wars girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California, 927998171. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.